Hey everyone, I'm really excited today because I have with me Lee Giles, and I am really excited because she is the creator of All-in-One Homeschooling Easy Peasy, and I think it's actually called Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool, but if you have not yet gone to this site, you're going to want to check it out as soon as you hear this interview and check out all that is available on there. And I'm really glad that she is on with us. So Lee, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. What I want to do just to begin with is just have you talk a little bit about yourself and your family and get people to know you a little bit.
Well, like everyone else, I'm a homeschool mom. I've been married for 17 years and have 6 children. My oldest is my only daughter. She's about to turn 15, and my 5 boys are 13 down to 2.
Okay.
You can
Yeah, that's
probably
great.
guess what my household is like.
Yeah, exactly. We've got it kind of the reverse. We've got 5 boys and then a girl. And so she, of course, the last one is very spoiled, but she's a tough girl because she's lived with all these boys. So
I
I
always tell everyone to have a daughter first because she's so helpful.
That's exactly right, and we've seen that in other families, and that is definitely the truth. I wish we would have that. Now she's the last one. Of course, all my boys make the mess, and she can't quite
Not quite
help
yet.
with it. Yeah,
We'll
so
get there.
yeah. So tell me, why is it that you and your family decide to homeschool?
I don't even remember deciding to homeschool. I just always knew I would.
Okay,
I I always say I homeschooled my children from birth. It
right.
was just a natural extension of being home with my kids all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've heard somebody else one time explain it this way. They said that they were teaching them from the very beginning, and then it got age for them to actually go into school. They said, "Why stop a good thing?" And they
Right.
just continued on. So sounds like that's your experience too. Obviously, though, you've probably had some challenges. Do you want to talk about maybe a challenge that you encountered in your homeschool and how you overcame that?
I think the biggest challenge is always when a kid comes up against something they feel like they can't do, and then they shut down and don't want to try.
Mm, yeah,
And for one kid, it was writing. For another kid, it's math. And there were days where it just sat and talk them through it, and you feel like you're just telling them exactly what to write down and practically doing it for them, and they just basically the attitude is they don't want to try it. They just say they can't and give
yeah,
up without even trying at all. And our breakthrough with that was to stop helping. Really,
huh,
I've already talked
interesting.
them through. We already showed them how to do it, and just go in a different room or put them in a different room, and so you aren't tempted to give it to them and
Hmm.
let them do it themselves. And so far it's worked. 3 kids have conquered whatever their hurdle was that
Oh, that's
was
great.
causing the breakdown. And
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone knows what that's like to have a breakdown. And yeah, we've conquered it that way. Just do it themselves, and then they realize they can do it because you weren't holding them up and holding their hand through it. They realize they can do it, and then they do it from then on.
Yeah, boy, I see a great deal of benefit in that, not only just because they can learn that one subject, but it gives them a great deal of confidence the next time the challenge comes around. So that's really good.
Right, then we
And
get to remind them, you did it, remember? I
yeah,
saw you do it.
exactly.
You
So the
did a
next,
great job.
yeah, the next time they say, "Remember back when?" That's good. So, what about a success story? Do you have something that you can say, because we homeschool, my kids have been able to do, this, which they wouldn't be able to do, or have your kids been
My
able
kids are
to?
able to do everything because we homeschool. Our family's able to travel, which is a big thing for us, and just
Yeah.
move around and spend, and go live with grandparents for a month, and we can keep schooling.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's great.
also, my oldest, my daughter, she's an artist, and she can spend 5 hours in a day doing artwork. And
Mm.
when she got to go to a program at a college,
Hmm.
she was the youngest one there, but all our teachers said she had the most experience, and it's because she got all those hours to put into it.
Oh,
She
yeah,
wasn't at
that's great.
school all day. And like my oldest son, his is computer models he makes,
Hmm.
and they just have the time to do it, and because of that, they have an advantage over kids who are stuck in school.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's fantastic. Well, let me shift gears a little bit now and talk about your website. And I mentioned it already. I probably messed up on the name, but the all-in-one easy peasy
Easy peasy,
homeschool.
all in
I'm not
one
sure
homeschool.
exactly how you go by it, but I'll tell you just as an upfront. I've had two of my older boys. One of them's out of the home already, but the next two, they have been doing biology, and they've been doing. One of us has been doing French, and then with my daughter, I have been using some of the material on your website for her reading. And so obviously I haven't been using every single bit of it, but it is just amazing me how much is available on your website. So first of all, why don't you just talk about what the all-in-one easy peasy homeschool is, please?
The easy peasy all in one homeschool. It is everything. It's preschool through 12th grade, every assignment for every subject. All you ever need.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. And why is it that you decided to create this program or create this website with all that information on it?
Well, yeah, I never imagined when I started what it would become, but
Mm-hmm.
I just did it because it was the most efficient way for me. I used to, when I
Okay.
had two kids doing homeschool, every weekend I'd write out their assignments for the week and I'd bookmark websites I wanted them to use that week, and then the next weekend the assignment sheets would get thrown out and I'd delete the bookmarks and start all over again, and I was losing all my work. So,
Right.
because you're homeschooling for free, really cheaply, and I was creating a lot of my own things, and I didn't want to lose all my work, so
Yeah.
I wanted to put it online and save the assignments for all the younger siblings. And but from
Mm-hmm.
the very beginning, I made the decision to write it in such a way that others could use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. And how did you go about deciding what to include? I mean, apparently it's kind of what you were doing, and then you just decided, okay, you know maybe expanded it because I mean, obviously your kids now they're still working through it, so you had to have created some of it before they got to that point. So how did you decide what to
Um,
include, what not to?
well, yeah, I mean, it started out as my children's assignments.
Mm-hmm.
For 2 years, it was only my family using it before I told anyone else about it. And so in the first year, I had kids in first, fourth, and sixth. So I created those years first, and
Okay.
then I had second, fifth, and seventh the next year.
Uh-huh.
Um, and then it's come in handy because the siblings have grown up, and I already had the years prepared for them. But eventually, yes, it did grow. It just to make it more complete, I put Spanish lessons on, and
Mm-hmm.
I put, I did a whole preschool, even though I didn't really need that for myself. To make it complete, we did add some more things, and we haven't gotten to all my family hasn't gotten to all the high school courses yet.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. We just want to make it. I want to make it complete. I want people to know they can get what they need.
Right. Yeah, well, again, it amazes me how much is available already. And I noticed that you have some books that now can be purchased that go along with the curriculum. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, that's to help families out when you have a lot of kids sharing one computer.
Mm-hmm.
One of the longest thing is the reading assignment, and
Right.
books take all the reading, the whole entire reading course offline. So it
Mm-hmm.
has your assignments, and then because we use all free public domain readings, basically, I could put them in a book. So the readings are in the book, and the vocabulary that goes with the readings are in the book. So that part of school can be done offline if that
Yeah.
helps your family.
Now, is that a hard copy or is it an electronic version or both?
Um, it's both. I mean, the purpose was to have a book so people could have books, but for some people, the Kindle was
Mm-hmm.
help them. So we've been putting them on Kindle as well.
Now, how did you publish that through a publisher or did you self-publish that or?
It's free, of course. I do
Yeah.
everything
Right.
as much as possible for free through Create Space. It's part
Okay.
of Amazon.com.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. Well, I appreciate
And
your
we're
work.
also giving those books away for free to families that need them because we are committed to providing free education. So
Yeah.
from the proceeds of the books, we are sending free books to the families who need them, who can't
Okay.
afford them.
Well, that's excellent, and certainly your website has taken every excuse away from homeschoolers that say they can't afford it, because you can get a fantastic education just using your website and the resources that are available through that, and so it is amazing. What do you have planned for the future? when it comes to your website?
Well, actually, my new thing is offline. I've been writing a new curriculum.
Hmm,
I've been calling it the Genesis curriculum. It's a whole curriculum based on the book of Genesis. I've been writing all the lessons myself. So
interesting.
it's all Bible based, and hopefully that's going to be done late spring. It'll be ready. Um,
Okay.
that's going to be in book form, but I'm thinking of ways that I can maybe get it online and more accessible to other people. But
Uh-huh.
and then I'll be writing more years to that based on other books of the Bible.
Okay. And that's a correct me if I misunderstood you, but that's an entire curriculum or just a Bible curriculum?
Oh, it's not everything.
Uh-huh.
But it's a in some ways it's similar to Easy Peasy. It's already done for you. Just pick it up and go, and it's as
Hmm.
complete as I could make it.
Yeah.
But it's different in other ways. It's you read a Bible reading. There's a memory verse, but
Hmm.
there's all language arts, spelling, vocabulary, handwriting, writing, grammar. Then science and social studies lessons are included every day.
Wow.
And and then actually my testing families, their favorite part has been the discussion question that's included in every lesson.
Oh, that's fantastic. And when is that coming out, you think?
This spring
Okay.
it should be ready.
Well, you've been diligently at work. That's fantastic. How do you find time to do all this, homeschooling and creating all this stuff?
Well, I don't create it while I'm homeschooling. I work. I get up early in the morning, and that's when I write curriculum. And at nap time in the afternoon is when I edit, and in the evening, after the kids are in bed, is when
Uh,
I work on the website. So
right.
yeah,
Okay.
basically when the everyone little is sleeping is when I do all my work.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and the way that you have the curriculum laid out anyway, a lot of it is self-study and
Yeah.
self-directed. So, which is a great asset in itself. Well, what else do you want to talk about or explain about your website? Anything in addition that we haven't covered yet that you'd like to let all the listeners know about?
Well, yeah, it's not just for people who want to homeschool for free. I mean, that's in the beginning who I had in mind to help, but it's turned out there's a lot of people who just thought they couldn't homeschool.
Mm,
Some people using it who are working full time, single moms or
yeah.
moms who have gone back to school or with health issues, all sorts of things, and they thought they couldn't homeschool, but it frees them can work independently. They don't have to plan, or and just people who just didn't think they knew how or didn't know how to
Hmm.
get started. It seems like almost every day we hear from someone saying, "I'm pulling my kids out of public school. I think I can do it now. Because of the website." So that's always really exciting, freeing
Yeah.
kids from public school.
Yeah, that's excellent news. That's one of my goals with this podcast is to give those who are considering homeschooling the encouragement to let them know that they can do it and that it is
Right.
possible, and whatever barrier that they think is there is really not there, and that they can overcome it if it is one. So that's right up my alley, and I appreciate that. That's fantastic. So I noticed too that uh, there are courses on there, and you might want to explain this a little bit. But there's really two sites. There's the Easy Peasy All-in-One Homeschool, and then there's the All-in-One High School program, and they're probably linked on the website. But I
Mhm.
understand that there are parents that are submitting courses for that as well, and that I've seen that be growing a little bit too. So you want to talk a little bit about your high school curriculum versus the I don't know, the under high school curriculum.
um, well, one of the differences is that the elementary and middle school things are put together into full grade levels. Like you can
Right.
just click on first and you'll get all your subjects handed to you every day. In high
Mm-hmm.
school, everything's separate. You just choose which courses you want to study. So that's one difference. And in the high school, yeah, we've allowed parents to submit courses.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the lower school, I'm more concerned about content being controlled, but for the high school, I'm not gonna be making all these different elective courses that these other parents are coming up with. So it expands how many courses we have, and
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, and it's great. It makes it into a little international co-op. Everyone, different parents helping to
Yeah.
teach, and we have a great Facebook community where everyone answers each other's questions and helps each other out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's excellent. And I noticed on there that many of the courses are designed to be CLEP certified or CLEP preparation so that you can actually test out of some of the college courses, which I know is a big deal for a lot of homeschoolers and saves money in the long run. And so that's that's a good thing as
Yeah,
well.
I mean, I haven't taken those tests, but I've tried to see where things would line up. We use AP courses as our base. Sometimes we're
Hmm.
using college courses from Sailor as our base course. It is a high quality education. Um, so yeah, I mean, they're going to need to do studying as well to take those tests, but
Sure.
we are, certainly trying to help. Everyone has different goals, so whatever your goal is, we're helping how we can to get you there.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great. All right. Well, let's shift to the last section of the interview, and that is just some really quick answers to some quick questions. And the first one is, what is the best advice that you've ever received when it comes to homeschooling?
Well, I don't know, but can I give some advice?
uh, that's good. All right. What about
Well,
if
no,
you
I'm
were?
going to give some advice. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's fine. I thought you were asking me for advice. I wasn't about to give you advice. Yeah, go ahead. That's good. Yeah, give some advice. That's perfect.
I don't know. Actually, for homeschooling, we've only in the last handful of years have found the homeschool community. I mostly was homeschooling by myself, but I like to tell people that don't compare yourself to others and what they're doing. It's
Mm,
very easy with the blogs are showing their best pictures and their most creative projects, and
right.
everyone smiles for the camera. Don't don't compare yourself to that. And when someone else says, "Oh, this is such a great resource," or "Oh, my child's doing whatever, whatever," that's not your family. Your family is different. You parent differently. Your
Uh-huh.
children are different. You are different, and so your homeschool is going to look different than every other single homeschool because your family's different. So
Right.
I just encourage everyone to just decide what your family goals are, how education plays into that, decide how you're going to meet those goals, and then just know that that's enough. Don't worry about everyone else.
Yeah. Well, that's excellent advice. I won't even add to that. That's fantastic. So, if you were to do things over and start from scratch again, knowing what you know now, is there anything that you would do differently?
Start easy peasy from the beginning. I wouldn't have wasted those years of throwing away assignments.
Yeah, really.
One of the biggest things I did was when my first was a baby, an infant, I was preparing preschool curriculum for her, and we never used it. By the time she was old enough for it, she already knew all those things just by
Uh-huh.
asking me, "What's this? What's this?" And I
Right.
answered her. And so yeah, I would calm down. I think a lot of people, when people ask certain questions, I always know it's their first child because we're all hyper and eager and want to get ahead and worried about getting behind and
Mm-hmm.
want to do all we can. And I would have been more calm and more
Okay.
patient first.
All right. That's good. And if there's one takeaway that you want the listeners to take from this interview, what would that be?
That you can homeschool.
All right.
That you can
Excellent.
do it no matter what.
Yeah, that's excellent. And
And
what
that it's
is?
worth it. It's worth whatever it is. It's worth homeschooling.
I would agree with that. No doubt about it. What is one resource that you think is essential for homeschoolers to have in their toolbox?
The internet,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know what I don't know what
using the internet
homeschoolers.
really revolutionized.
It did. I mean, that's what I was going to say. Is I can't imagine the days before the internet and trying to homeschool when you actually had to use hard copies of everything. And I mean, yeah, I guess people use the library a lot and purchase expensive curriculum and everything. But now what's available online is just incredible. So, and you've got links, of course, in all of your curriculum, which is fantastic. So, all right, good. Well, um, two last questions. One, I didn't prepare you for, but uh, I mean, you do all of this pretty much for free. Is there a way for people to compensate you or donate to your web page or anything like that that people who have used it and found it helpful can help?
Yeah, I certainly don't ask for compensation, but we do have a donate button on the site. Um, it's always an encouragement, and it provides for all the different expenses of keeping the website up.
Hmm.
But, yeah, it's only for people if it makes their heart happy to give. That's what I tell them. Then you can give.
Okay, excellent. And then lastly, what is the best way for someone to connect with you if they wanted to connect with you? And then if you could spell out how to actually get to your website, I'll put a link in the show notes so that if someone's listening to this and they can just go to the show notes and link right over there. But you want to give the address out and then any way they might be able to contact, or the best way they can contact you if they want to find out more.
The website is allinonehomeschool.com. If you search All-in-One Homeschool or Easy Peasy Homeschool, it will show up for you. Um, there's an email address on the website, and Facebook is our community. We have a large community on Facebook where I have a team that answers Facebook questions and answers emails too,
Okay.
because we've gotten too large for me
Yeah.
to handle it all. But I am always around, and you can get to me if you want to. Just say you want to talk to me, and they'll let you.
Yeah, that's great. Is there, and this I didn't prepare you for this question either, but I'm sure you know the answer to it. The do you know about how many people have used All-in-One Homeschool?
Ever? I don't know.
Yeah.
I've some, a million some visitors last year,
Wow, that's great.
maybe 15,000 regular users. I'm not
Hmm.
really sure. Eventually, we have some volunteers working on a website where you will register, and so it'll keep track of what day you're on, and you'll be able to create a unique level for your child, put what courses you want, and it'll serve it up to your child each day. And
Hmm.
so then maybe we'll have a better number of how
Yeah,
many
right.
people are using it.
Yeah, at the any given time. Yeah. Well, that's excellent. Certainly a great work of achievement, and I want to thank you for all the work that you have put into it. And I thank you also for your time today and taking time out of your schedule and the busyness of raising a family and homeschooling and everything else that you do to be on this podcast.
You're welcome. Thanks for the chat.
Okay. Bye bye.